Yeah, we're going to find out what's happening in game number 2 because it's getting underway right now. Purple out to a 1-0 lead, and Greensheep, he's looking to tie this one up and continue his big winning streak from DreamHack over the weekend. But yeah, just, I don't actually mind attacking the Spider Tank in this spot or attacking the Whirling Zap-O-Matic. Because the other thing that's a possibility too is that he knows that Purple's got Doom Hammers in that deck, so double Rock Biter's hitting anyway.
Oh, and this is a great matchup here for Greensheep. Purple has moved over to Freeze Mage, and Greensheep looks like he's playing Control Warrior.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of Warrior lately. It just seems to be a big talking point for him, and I think Purple really trying to catch a spot where Greensheep is playing an aggressive deck.
See, this is what we were talking about with Purple. He likes to get in your head and figure out your patterns, and the pattern from Greensheep lately is play Druid and then play an aggressive deck. Purple is queued up for that. Yeah. And it's going to come back to bite him here.
Yeah, it does have a pretty interesting hand though. I mean, Mad Scientist and Loot Hoarder can start chipping, can keep armor in check and just continue to chip away. The Flame Strike and the Ice Barrier largely dead in this hand, but he does have one of the key pieces to actually beating this matchup, which is Archmage Antonidas. If he manages to find Frost Bolts, Ice Lances, Archmage, and an Emperor, that's really where he has his biggest chance to win. But outside of that, this matchup is abysmal.
Yeah, the last card you mentioned, that's the important one. He needs Emperor Thaurissan to happen with an Archmage in his hand and a bunch of spells, because that's how you win this game. You have to get an Archmage and then just fill your hand full of fireballs. Now, if anyone is going to win this matchup from this side, it's going to be Purple. He has played a ton of Freeze Mage lately, and he even claimed that he said he might be one of the best Freeze Mage players in the world.
Yeah, I can't blame him for saying that either. He just understands his matchups so very well. But again, this is a tall order for him. Not an easy matchup to be winning by any stretch of the means. And Greensheep, his hand is actually looking not the greatest right now. He's forced to play Deathbite and actually kill a Mad Scientist right here.
Yeah, Gorehell, not the greatest one in this matchup, though it can kill a Doomsayer.
It also just deals 7 damage. I mean, 7 damage is totally fine. And this is the one spot that Purple was desperately trying to avoid, going into turn 5 and turn 6 and having no card draw plays.
Yeah, this is the nightmare from the side of the thing. Generally his hand would be okay. This is a matchup against other minions, but Greensheep's attacking him from a different angle here. He's attacking him with his life total. He's going to be armoring up almost every turn for the rest of the game that he can. And what that's going to do is he's going to try to get out of range of Purple ever being able to actually deal enough damage to kill him. Also, another thing, it's going to be interesting to see which version of Freeze Mage Purple has been playing here today, because lately he's played one that has a counter spell in it.
Yeah, I actually saw him streaming that the other day, and I'm curious exactly why the counter spell was in there. And I think the major reason was because he wanted to be able to protect Archmage Antonidas on some level versus this deck. We saw him earlier in this event have a spot where Archmage Antonidas, if it would have gone unchecked, he would have outright won the game.
Yeah, I remember him saying that. He was like, if my Archmage lives here, I just easily win from this spot.
Yeah. He forced out two shield slams and then had to just run it out and hope there was no execute, and unfortunately it was there. But I think that's part of the reason why Counterspell was in that deck, was to protect against that. But this is the kind of spot, again, that Purple's also looking to avoid. Shield Maiden, not a very effective minion to try to kill from Freeze Mage's perspective. It starts applying pressure, and it gives Greensheep life.
Yeah, it's actually just the nightmare minion in this spot.
Yep. We'll have to see what Greensheep wants to do from here. Cannot blame him for playing Acolyte of Pain. And he wants to hold on to this big game hunter for something like Alexstrasza. One of his win conditions is quite literally just killing everything that Purple plays.
Yeah, if he can kill the Archmage Antonidas and the Alexstrasza, Purple won't be able to deal enough damage anymore to ever kill him.
Yeah, I honestly would not be too terribly surprised to see Purple Fireball in this spot. I've seen him do it before just to expend his mana in the proper way. But in this game, he's clearly looking for some sort of long-term advantage. He knows that this is going to be a long fight.
Yeah, now if he finds an Emperor, this is actually the kind of hand that can win. It seems like these last couple turns, like he hasn't done much. He's not really doing anything advancing his board. He's just, pinging and passing. But if he finds an Emperor and gets to make this hand cheaper, this is the kind of hand that can deal enough damage over the span of 2 turns that can finish off Greensheep.
Yeah, we're going to see if Greensheep wants to attack. And this is the turn he wants to do it. He fills at 3 armor. He has plenty from his Armor Smith right now. And then also in a spot where he finds Flame Strike, still even more armor.
Yeah, he might even revenge here as well. We saw him, kind of playing with the card earlier. There's a chance he revenges his own minions here. I don't know if he'll do it this turn because of things like Flame Strike, but getting the extra card and the extra armor, it's something it's hard to pass up here. It'll put you to 16 armor.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. But, on the other hand, he does want to have a way to activate Execute as well. So I don't blame him for holding on to it. And this is a little bit of a window for Purple. Does get to stem some of this pressure. But again, he's giving Greensheep a card. He's not really progressing anything this turn, and Greensheep's getting 3 more armor. I mean, you're looking at a spot, that's actually a really important burn too. You're looking at a spot now where Greensheep's going into 20 armor.
Yeah, and you're actually seeing what Purple was doing earlier in the game by giving Greensheep extra cards. This is another way that Purple can win. making Greensheep have a full hand. He knows he can't play multiple cards in one turn. It's very hard for him to do so because a lot of his cards are so reactive that he's going to make it to where Greensheep at some point in time drew an extra card, as you saw that game, and it burned. And if it burns some of the right ones, it makes the matchup a lot easier.
Burning shield block, I mean, that's 5 less damage he's going to, or 5 less damage he actually has to deal this game. But Greensheep's draw just continues to look so good in this one. And purple, again, this is the spot now where he feels like he needs to start unleashing some of this mana and start doing work on this because the clock is running low.
You know, it's really funny to me. Ysera would be great against purple's deck here in this spot, but he can't play it because it would start burning cards from his hand.
Yeah, and so Alexstrasza is just going to come down and apply maximum pressure. But purple, with Frost Novas and Blizzards in his hand, this is actually kind of the scenario he wants. This will buy him some extra time.
Yeah, he's going to be able to buy a ton of extra time. He can even develop an Acolyte of Pain this turn if he wants to as well.
Yeah. To me, it looks like he's taking a look at Fireball and Frost Nova. He's going to favor Blizzard, though. I think the Frost Nova going to be key when he picks up Emperor Thaurissan. Again, he's not winning this game without Emperor Thaurissan.
Yeah, he's also playing around the fact that, you know, he could just draw another Flame Strike, and in conjunction with that, he can take care of this board over the next 2 turns.
Yeah, so Greensheep, not a lot to do on this turn.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of really bad and dead cards in his hand. These Shield Slams, not great, but he's going to push for, you know, some damage here.
Yep, I think the Scorehouse is going to sit in place just in case he sees something like Doomsayer. You know, don't need to swing with it now. Maybe if he draws another weapon, he can swing then and start looking for that damage. But in the meantime, Purple's getting a little bit restricted on his options at this point.
Yeah, the card that Greensheep really needs to find, and the real hard one for Purple to take care of, and it's so good in this matchup, is Ragnaros. If he has that in his build, it's just another thing that's so hard for Purple to deal with.
Yep. Purple gonna protect his Acolyte of Pain here. Wants to Frostbolt face and just get this on board. So even understanding that at this point now, he's gonna have to find the second Frostbolt to go along with this. And Greensheep, I mean, what does he do this turn? Again, he's at a spot where none of his plays really look that good.
Yeah, they're not great. I mean, you could Cruel Taskmaster the Blood Mage Thanos here just to make sure it doesn't sit on board. Leaving that around can be, you know, kind of dangerous in certain spots. Also, you just need to get a card out of your hand here.
Yeah, that's the first step, is he's got to get something out of his hand. But again, none of them look very appealing.
Now, we talk about, you know, this matchup is great on the Control Warrior side. You still have to play the game well.
Yeah, you still do. But again, every turn that Purple's not really making a lot of headway, that's playing right into Greensheep's favor. Every turn that he can just armor up and continue to build against the damage total that Purple has available in his deck, that's the beauty of this matchup.
Yeah, Purple knew that Doomsayer a little bit earlier, too. It would have been great last turn.
Yeah, still not too terrible in this spot. Alexstrasza, a key card in this matchup, but again, he just needs more than this right now.
Yeah, I mean, you do 12 damage to Greensheep right now with Alexstrasza.
I suspect that hero power is going to be happening at some point in this game on the Acolyte of Pain. Emperor Thaurissan actually might change the way this hand works now. God, what a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, Emperor Thaurissan is something he also needed just a little bit earlier. Could have made this game much easier for him. He needed it when his hand was a little fuller and had, you know, he didn't have to start expending resources to make sure that he didn't die. When you start using fireballs, stuff like that, on minions and frostbolts, you know, as a tempo play, that becomes a problem in this deck. It really needs all of its stuff to win.
Yeah, Doomsayer's happening, and he's going to fireball it to ensure that Sylvanas steals this Doomsayer. So this will clean the board up. This is, you know, one of the dangers of playing Sylvanas in this matchup is that your opponent can guarantee Doomsayer going off. I'm just going to make sure he picks up the extra card with Loot Order.
Yeah, he doesn't mind Loot Order dying. It's not here to get 2 damage in. It's here to cycle.
Yeah.
It's here as a minion to interact early as well. Great draw here for Greensheep.
Yeah, I just don't think there was a better one in the deck right now. Get a 5/5 on board, pick up 5 extra armor, and what more can you ask for out of that?
Yeah, it's the dual threat from Greensheep. It's a minion that's a threat, and it's more life for him.
Kind of thumbing over this Ysera, though. I would very much disagree with this at this point. I think that Shield Maiden and Armor Up is just far and away the play he wants to be making.
I completely agree with you here. You definitely don't be, you know, putting Ysera into play right now. I think he might even, there's a chance he Cruel Taskmasters here just to get it out of his hand, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I'd like to see him just hang on to it. No reason to use it, frankly. There's the Frostbolt, and so this is really Purple's only chance to get in the Alexstrasza. You know, he's got to get something going on board, but just reaching all the answers.
Yeah, what he's looking for here is this is going to be hard for him to do, but he's trying to find a turn where he's not under a ton of pressure and that he can play Archmage Antonidas into Frostbolt Greensheep so that the weapon can't be used. And then if he can keep his Archmage around for even a turn, that the entire game will turn around in his favor.
Yeah. So this is gonna pull Big Game Hunter finally from Greensheep. You know, not a big surprise from Purple's perspective, I think. But this turn, not looking the worst for purple. Does get to get Emperor Thorson and Frost Nova happening if that's what he wants. But even the Archmage and Frost Nova, that could be possible too. But he looks like he's like 1 point of mana short of being able to make all this stuff happen. So it just has to be Emperor.
Yeah, it just has to be Emperor from here. Now he still has this ice block up, so you know he wants to protect it even though he drew the second one, because every extra turn he gets is so much more damage that he can do to Greensheep. When he turns the corner, he starts to do 12 to 18 damage a turn and can chew through all of this armor and life that Greensheep has left. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get to that kind of situation.
Greensheep continues to add massive amounts of threats to his hand.
Take 20.
Yep. It sort of seems weird to call Armorsmith a threat, but again, the game plan here is armor.
Yeah, I mean, every single piece of, yeah, you're gonna see that he actually just armors up here as well. Every single piece of life is so important in this matchup. As we said, purple can actually run out of damage to deal.
Yep. Sarah's Awakens, it's 5 extra damage. Every single point matters right now. And purple, his hand is forced at this point. He has to make something happen.
He's gonna draw some extra cards here. Now these Ice Lances are free, so he can, you know, couple them with this, with this Frostbolt here and get a ton of damage and fill his hand up with fireballs and just hope it's going to be good enough from here.
Yeah, that's the really big talking point. Is it going to be enough at this point?
Now, he has a 2-mana Ice Block. That's very important. So that means in the same turn, he can Ice Block and get in 12 with fireballs.
Yeah, so this game, not completely out of reach yet. Does need a few more points of damage. But I think that Greensheep's going to be able to sustain through this. You know, plop the Armorsmith down, put the right threats into Archmage Antonidas, make sure that you get all the armor you need. I think he can get out of reach.
Yeah, he could just use Revenge here and execute to take care of the Archmage Antonidas here and get a ton of armor in the process and put himself out of reach from purple. Purple just leaves his chair. He's done with this game.
He knows what's happening here. He knows that he's got to get lucky if he's going to win this game.
Yeah, he also knows that this turn's probably going to take a little bit of a while too.
Yeah, Greensheep, just so many options and just making sure that he sequences it properly. That's the big one. And so is going to drop purple down to 3 and then pop this ice block. And just what can he do in this scenario? Looking so bad for purple. Just look at the armor total. This has come after, by the way, 2 fireballs, 2 frostbolts, and 2 ice lances and hero powers throughout the course of the game. Greensheep's still above 30 life.
Yeah, Greensheep's had something like 70 hit points this game, and purple, I don't know if he's able to deal 70. And we'll see if he actually makes it back in time here for this turn.
He's almost out of cards too. So not only does he have the game working against him, but he's got a clock working against him as well.
Hey, purple, where are you at? Purple, you there?
Purple.
You're in a match. You got a game to play.
Purple, what's going on? I mean, what is Greensheep thinking right now too when he's in this spot and purple's just not doing anything?
In the tank.
Yeah.
I think he knows he's won. I mean, in this matchup, you really keep track of cards that are important. You know, matchups that are so combo piece oriented, you know everything that's gone. He knows how many fireballs are left in purple's hand. He knows there's no way that he can die this turn. He's probably just thinking purple's kind of BMing him a little bit here.
This is just ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen somebody just actually get up from their match and leave.
Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, he's got to go right now, and Greensheep, you know, every single second this turn ticks down, he's getting closer and closer to locking up this game. And I mean, obviously he's got this one locked up. There's nothing purple can do about this one, but you know, this is about as close to conceding as you can get without actually conceding the game.
Well, yeah. Well, purple's got a few minutes, you know, to change his deck here in between games. So it looks like he's using that to take a little bit of a breather from this match. And after that game, I don't blame him.
He's like up on a chalkboard drawing up the formula right
Yeah.
now. Wonderful cue up from Greensheep. Understands exactly where his game plan is. Purple comes back just outside of time. Yeah, what happened there, Purple? Where'd you go with this one? Again, just Greensheep executing the game exactly how he's supposed to.